Thank you for listening to Home Builder Digest Radio. Disclaimer: while this may be a reading of one of our many articles on our website, this article is accompanied by images and figures that are not viewable on this audio file. If you would like to see the full scope of the article, please feel free to visit our website, www.homebuilderdigest.com. So today we're going to be discussing how much does it cost to build a custom home. We will be discussing things such as the average cost to build a house, construction cost breakdown, factors that influence the cost of building a house, and more. So, how much does it cost to build a new home from the ground up? The short answer is that it depends. You could spend as little as $30,000 on a prefabricated tiny home, or well into the millions for a luxury custom home. So many factors such as the house type, size, location, features, and finishes will determine whether you ultimately pay $80 for a square foot or $350. In this guide, we will be sharing the average costs of building different types of houses from prefabricated to log homes and break down the costs associated with each component. If you're curious to learn more about the home construction process, you may read our guide on how to build a custom home also on our website. So first off, with the average cost to build a house. Your average 2,600 square foot home in the United States will cost roughly around $400,000 or $150 per square foot. While the final cost when everything is tallied up will vary greatly based on factors we'll discuss later, the typical building cost for a standard 2,600 square foot home is between $140,000 and $700,000. These figures include all construction costs, including labor, materials, equipment, plans, and building permits. For this article, structures are classified by the quality of construction: economy, standard, and luxury. This categorization is based primarily on the cost of materials used in the construction of basic design elements. It does not necessarily reflect some features and construction details that make a home more beautiful and expensive. Economy quality, which can run you about $85,000 to $425,000 in costs, is the minimum required under most building codes. Typically, homes in this class are characterized by reinforced concrete or concrete block foundations, floors made of standard wood frames, and roofs with wood frames, single or built-up cover, and open soffit. Meanwhile, structures of luxury quality, which are somewhere in the range of $360,000 to $2 million, are generally designed by professional architects and feature things such as terrazzo, marble, or carpet flooring throughout, highly detailed complex tile, slate, or metal roofs, and interiors that tout decorative details and artistic finishes. This cost guide describes typical specifications that define the standard class, which usually run in the range of $140,000 to $710,000. Most single-family homes and houses built from stock plans or offered by tract home developers fall under this category. These structures normally feature engineered wood floor structures, multi-pitch roofs, and large closed soffit, as well as good-grade doors and windows. The construction cost breakdown section of this article discusses more of these specifications in detail. Each home type varies in terms of designs, building methods, and materials. These, in addition to building shape, floor area, and overall quality, make these buildings inherently very different and, accordingly, affect the final costs. These include only the costs of building the actual structure and not the other costs associated with home construction, like permits and architectural fees, which can take up about 40% of the total final costs. So what's the cost to build a custom home? These custom homes are often one-of-a-kind upscale homes that feature many unique architectural details. By building a custom home, you can tailor-fit your house's features to suit any need, whether it's additional bedrooms, a basement, specialty rooms, or a nice porch and garage. Building a custom home means you have total control over the design of your home. You'll have the freedom to incorporate architectural styles you love, add features that fit your lifestyle like an art studio or gourmet kitchen, or you can incorporate the latest trends and technology. In building a custom home, you have the option to hire either an architect, then bid the plans to contractors, or have a negotiated bid where the architect and the contractor come in at the same time to collaborate. The important thing to remember is to hire them early on in the process so they can work together to bring you the best plans and designs according to your budget. This will help you get feedback on pricing and avoid extra costs and over designs. Regardless of the route you take, if you would like to learn more about getting free bids from contractors, please stick around until the end of the recording. Danny Eichenhorst of Hibbs Homes has some wise words to consider. Bring in your builder up front. Avoid the temptation to work with an architect directly and shop the plans later. If you develop a team that you trust inherently, they'll help you avoid some of the pitfalls that may otherwise throw your build off course. If you're looking at multiple lots, having a builder in your corner can be a huge resource. They can walk those lots with you and help you determine which lot is best for your build. The average cost of building a house, as discussed above, accounts for as much as 60% of the whole process cost. Hiring a professional interior designer to make your home look magazine-worthy with top-notch finishes, materials, and details can also mean an additional 10 to 15% depending on things such as labor costs and types of materials. Meanwhile, other costs that should be considered are site preparation, utility lines, government fees and mandates, and finance costs, which can reach around 40%. How much does it cost to build a prefabricated home? A prefabricated home is an encompassing term for homes made in a factory and built or assembled on site. This type of home can be bought whole or in parts. They can sometimes cost less than custom homes due to their pre-made nature, but high-end finishes can still increase the cost. One reason why prefabricated homes are less expensive is construction can take place anytime, which can also mean quicker turnaround times. This also makes for more efficient production, which results in economies of scale or a proportionate saving in costs due to an increased level of production. If you're choosing a home that is not one of a kind, then it's cheaper by the unit to produce 10,000 of these than one highly customized structure. Another reason for lower construction costs has to do with reducing uncertainties on site, where one misstep can delay progress and balloon labor costs. Choosing a prefabricated home can help you save up to 20% on your construction budget. Prefabricated homes can come in the form of manufactured, modular, or panelized homes. Manufactured homes are built entirely in a factory, transported to the site, and installed under a federal building code administered by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. Manufactured homes can typically cost half as much per square foot than new site-built housing construction. The prices for these homes can play around $37,000 to $270,000. In a survey conducted by the Department of Housing and Urban Development in 2018, the average size of a new manufactured home was 1,500 square feet. A home of this size can cost anywhere from $60 to $115 per square foot. For a standard 1,500 square foot manufactured home with mid-grade finishes, expect to have a budget of around $120,000. This cost includes delivery to the site, setting on piers, finishing, connecting to utility lines, pulling permits, and performing inspections. Modular homes are built in sections or modules at a factory. These are then transported to the site and assembled by local contractors. These are usually done in a period of 6 to 12 weeks, meaning they have a shorter build time that often minimizes the overall construction costs. Modular homes are also a great option for sustainable building since construction waste is kept at a minimum. The base price of buying a modular home with no customization or alteration can range from $180 to $250 per square foot. Fabrication, finishes, delivery, and assembly can cost around $250 to $450 per square foot on average. Many modular home builders charge a much higher price due to their designer finishes. Last but not least, panelized homes. These are customizable factory-built homes in which panels are transported to the site and assembled. Compared to modular homes that are 95% completed in the factory, panelized homes require more finishing work on site. Installation of other elements such as drywall and mechanical and electrical systems are completed by the contractors on site. Harvest Homes, a leading New York panelized home company, puts the range of a standard panelized home at $125 to $250 per square foot. Again, site costs, land prices, and finishes can bump up the costs. So lastly, let's move on to building a log or timber frame home. These types of homes put a premium on the natural look and feel of wood. They can assume many different styles while remaining recognizably log or timber. Building a log or timber frame home involves buying the wood or frame from a company that manufactures the pieces, then hiring a builder to assemble them on site. A finished log or timber home can range from $100 to $400 per square foot. This wide range accounts for the type of wood used, finishes, and other materials used inside the home. For mid-grade log or timber frame homes, $200 to $250 per square foot is the common range for most companies that do turnkey services, meaning they perform the full suite of manufacturing, assembling, and finishing the home. The following section contains images and figures that are not included in this recording. For a full view of everything, please visit our website www.homebuilderdigest.com. So let's break down the cost of construction. For a custom home, where you spend your money depends a lot on the type of home you choose. Construction expenses may represent up to 60% of the total cost, while site preparation, utility lines, government fees and mandates, and other finance costs may cost as much as 40%. This breakdown generally applies to many single-family homes constructed using conventional methods, but other factors such as unique features of the land or home can really affect these figures. For instance, if you live on a steep hill, you might spend about 20% of your costs on grading and foundation just to have a solid base to work on. For custom homes, you have to consider the following breakdown: foundations, floor structures, floor finishes, wall framing and exterior finish, interior walls and ceiling finishes, roof, interior detail, bath detail, kitchen detail, plumbing, electrical systems, and special features. Next, we go to the cost breakdown for a manufactured home. These homes often look like trailers or mobile homes and are considered as affordable housing. While these structures are made of one or more sections intended to be delivered for erection, no wheels, axles, or tow bars are included in these costs. These figures include costs such as delivery to the site, setting on piers, finishing, and connection to utility lines, permits, and inspections. For modular homes, components include things such as the roof, exterior walls, doors and windows, interior, floors, heating, kitchen, baths and plumbing, and bedrooms. So what are the factors that influence the cost of building a house? Home building may be the single most expensive investment that a person can make in a lifetime. Your first home is where you spend a huge portion of your life, so you want to make sure that it's built right the first time, especially since construction mistakes are costly. Building a home can also be an overwhelming exercise, and it might seem exciting to include all possible things at once. Heidi Khaled of Joy Design and Build shares what usually drives the cost during home building. Framing the house, pouring the foundation, and those types of items are generally the same from company to company. It's what is put in the home, cabinets, countertops, and fixtures that really drive the price. Building the box is the same time and time again, but making the box pretty is what drives the cost. So, here are some of the factors that have the greatest impact on the cost of your new home. First off, size and shape. One of the first decisions you have to make in the process of planning your home is its size and general structure. Size covers square footage, number of stories, wall and ceiling heights, and number of rooms. Meanwhile, the home's exterior shape and complexity also significantly influences the cost. Simply put, the bigger and more complex the home's design, the more expensive it will be. For example, on a 2,600 square foot lot, a 4-corner home will be much cheaper than a 10-corner home of the same size. Sky Castle Construction, a leading custom home builder in Boulder, Colorado, also sees size and shape as a huge factor in building homes. Scott Rodwin from Sky Castle says that you should keep your square footage as low as you can. Keep the geometry simple, as close to a simple box as possible, and understand that innovation is often expensive. The next factor to consider is region and location. While the national estimate for construction is roughly $150 per square foot, there are some areas in the country where construction costs can be more expensive or affordable. This is caused by the variance in the price of materials, labor, and building permits and fees in the area. Example, it is generally more expensive to build a new home in the Northeast than in the South. However, there are some outlying exceptions to this. Expect to pay more in major states such as New York, California, Texas, Alaska, and Hawaii, where home construction costs can be 9% to 23% more expensive than the national average. Up next, land characteristics. The characteristics of your plot of land can have a huge impact on your budget. If your plot is on a slope, you may need to pay for grading, deeper foundations, or retaining walls to hold the foundation in place. If you plan to build your home in a remote area without utility connections, You may need to budget more for setting up basic utility systems such as sewage, water, and electricity. There are at times unforeseen costs associated with a plot of land. Those who are preparing a foundation for a new home in rocky zones may find large boulders in their way that require special machinery to break up and remove. A contractor that has seen this challenge up close is Hibbs Homes of St. Louis, Missouri. Danny Aikenhorst of Hibbs Homes says, "They see an idyllic location, but our crews may see excessive tree clearing, topography issues, a need for septic and well systems, and the potential for a long driveway. These elements can use a lot of the client's budget before we even break ground. Additionally, clients don't often understand how design and finish choices greatly affect construction costs. The quality of your land also plays a significant role in budgeting for construction costs. It has the potential to make it easier or harder for the builders to construct your home, depending on its features. An easy thing to watch out for is whether or not your home will be built on a slope, which could easily drive up your costs because it would require grading, deeper foundations, or retaining walls. However, great contractors could easily turn this site challenge into an asset. Done right, building your home on a slope could enhance your home's exterior appeal and increase its market value. Let's move on to quality of finishes. Every new homeowner would like to see their home in the most beautiful state possible. Finding the right finishes is possibly the most fun you'll have while building your new home, but it is also where you're most likely to overspend. Note that nearly half of the construction budget will go to the exterior and interior finishes. Understandably so, since it's the materials that will help define your home's style and personality. The finish's importance in the home building process is correlated to its impact on the total cost of construction. This depends mostly on the luxuriousness of your chosen materials. Nick Bugbee of Bugbee Custom Home Builder, one of the premier custom home builders in the Las Vegas area, puts designs and quality of finishes as a large factor in the cost of building a home. He says if something is not designed around modular dimensions, there's a lot of extra material needed, which turns into wasted material and money. Finishes are another large factor in the cost of the home. This includes everything from the brand selected for plumbing fixtures and appliances, to the flooring and wall coverings, to the cabinets. Another factor that affects the cost of your home are additional home features. Optional features could easily run up your total bill. Adding a pool, for instance, can cost up to hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the type, be it in-ground or above ground. Trey Garner of Garner Homes in Texas admits that pools are expensive, as building these involves either working around or manipulating the surrounding land. He says that the topography in the hill country is the culprit here also. When a client wants the pool relatively close to the level of the outdoor living areas, or even flush with those spaces, we are often building swimming pools and spas that are essentially built on top of the natural grade rather than dug into the earth. In addition to the expense of building such a structure, the outer walls of the pool are often veneered with stone or stucco, which also adds cost. Other common features that could drive up the costs are decks, porches, extra storage buildings, and additional dwelling units. Jauregui Architects in Houston is another luxury custom home builder that does big-ticket items. At $400 to $500 per heated square foot, its homes are inclusive of all improvements. Susan Jauregui shares, "What I call big-ticket times can greatly impact the overall investment and include improvements such as landscaping, pool, security and home automation, low voltage, and specialty finishes." Lastly, green and sustainable elements. Choosing to build a green home can significantly change the construction budget depending on the elements you plan to include. Generally, it's more costly to build a green home, but costs less to operate. For example, the national average for building a net zero home is at $274,000 versus the national average of $240,000 for standard homes. While it is nearly 16% more expensive to build a net zero home, it will result in more savings for the homeowners in the form of zero net energy consumption in the long run. In the end, your project will have a unique cost depending on what you want in a home. This guide will hopefully help you lay out your budget and anticipate costs that you will encounter throughout the home building process. If you want to have the most accurate picture of how much it costs to build a home, it is best to talk to a contractor and get an estimate for your particular needs. Building a custom home is costly, but you know what isn't? Getting bids from a contractor. If you would like to get free bids from a contractor and get some assistance for your custom home project or any construction needs, visit our parent company, buildzoom.com. BuildZoom is a free online service that connects property owners, property managers, and aspiring homeowners with contractors in their area. BuildZoom has a network of top contractors in every city and can find the best ones for you based on things like your budget, location, project size, and all of the factors discussed in this article. And all of this is completely free of cost to you. Just visit www.buildzoom.com to get started or to find more information.